What is going on, guys? I haven't posted in a few days. I've actually been pretty down busy, but today I'm actually going to give you guys 3 free picks that you could throw into a flex play. And it's going to be for the CS2 matches we got tomorrow morning. It's going to be kind of a wake in cash. I'll be up in the morning, but they start at like 4:30 in the morning tomorrow. So some of you guys will wake up and just see the results. Me, I'll be up, and this isn't Pacific time, by the way. But yeah, I got a little 3-man flex. I think we secured some value, and hopefully we get you guys a green slip over here on the YouTube for free. Now, obviously, every single pick I'm going to share with you guys today is going to be backed up by projections. I'm going to provide all the research and actually my projection models that I create myself. I'll walk you guys through all that in a second. And then on top of that, it's going to be pretty much correlated, right? Meaning that if we're expecting a banger, it's going to be 2 overs. If we're expecting one team to slam another team, it'll likely be 2 unders, or the favored team going over and the other team going under, right? Depending on what the projections say and what the odds and their form ranking says, that's where we make our pick decisions. But at the end of the day, it's always a roll of the dice, man. These are players we're betting on, not just stats and numbers. So keep that in mind. Flex to be safer. I know I am. Obviously, if you don't agree with some picks, just skip them, man. I'm going to share a few. I'm going to give you guys my favorite 3 out of these 2 matches. You'll see a bunch of other highlighted plays, which means they also have value. So if you prefer one of the over, feel free to change the slip however you see fit, man, and hopefully you cash. Now, before we get into the picks, I'd just like to invite you guys over to my Discord server. That's where everything's going on. Now, today I'm going to share these free projection sheets for you guys. But as you know, we actually have 6 matches tomorrow for the tier 1 scene. So these are the first 2 that start at 4:30 in the morning. But we'll be dropping more projections right after I post this video. I'm going to drop the other 4 projection sheets right here in this channel under projections. And then I'll drop probably a few slips for that as well. So you'll get the most value here, the most bang for your buck. I'm going to have my slips posted here. We have the whole community that chats in here, and they usually drop slips that they like as well based on the projections or based on their own research. We've just grown a really great community, guys. We hit 700 members the other day. So shout out to everyone that joined. I love to see it grow, man. It's just a bunch of good minds in there, a bunch of good people. So wanted to give you guys a quick shout out, and hopefully some of you guys decide to join as well. It is 50 cents. It's the bare minimum we charge for the amount of hours we put into our research and just basically the management of the server. I mean, there's 700 people in there. So obviously I'm in there a lot of the times, man. Just I got to stay active. I got to be part of the community and just interacting with everyone, man. But yeah, if you want to sweat some plays with some good people, man, and also get all the research at your fingertips, to top it off, you'll also get my personal favorite slips with the amount that I placed on them, and then basically a summary every day of how we did that day. So you'll keep track of your wins and losses and your overall earnings. And yeah, man, all you got to do is hit the link. I'll probably have a pinned comment, but you could also find that link in the description. It'll send you over to this page right here, and you'll join for 15 bucks a month. You hit join, it's going to give you a link to the Discord server and give you the bandit rule, so you should automatically get upgraded and get access to all the premium channels. And yeah, get access to all my favorite flips, all my projection sheets, and just a really dope community, man. So I hope to see you guys there, man. Hit that link down below if you're interested. It's only 15 bucks a month, but tons of value there, man. Any given day you can make those 15 bucks back and it'll pay for itself. But without further ado, let's get straight into the picks that you guys clicked on the video for. Now, we're going to start off with the projections, just because like I said, every single pick's going to be backed by projections. Now, if you appreciate these projections, do me a favor, man. Drop a like on the video and consider subscribing, guys. It really just helps me out. It helps me know that you guys appreciate it. I mean, it takes me hours and it takes you guys seconds to show some love. So consider subscribing and drop a comment. Let me know you're telling, man. Let me see some 4-leaf clover emojis in the comment section. Hope we catch today. But without further ado, let's get straight into the pick. Now, these are the 2 matchups, like I said, that I'm going to share with you guys today. And I know these might look a little confusing to you right now, but these are the models that I share on my server, right? So in this case here, we're actually looking at Tai Lu versus G2, right? The first thing you want to look at when you're looking at these models, man, is up here. Now, up here in the top left corner, you'll see Tai Lu versus G2. It's highlighted red because overall, I think this match is probably favoring the unders, right? Just from looking at it without looking at the lines. I mean, it's favoring a blowout. It's favoring all kinds of things. That doesn't mean we can't find value in overs, but it just means that this matchup is highly favored towards one side, so it might not be as competitive as we'd want it to be if we were going for overs, but that's a risk we're willing to take sometimes depending on what the projections say. But yeah, we got 20 to 80 odds favoring G2, obviously, and G2 has way better form ranking. So those are the 2 things we take into consideration when we make these highlights. And obviously these are 2 reds, that meaning that it's pretty much favoring a blowout or just one team to win 2-0. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But another thing you want to keep in mind is actually the maps we predict. So I think we're guaranteed to see Tai Lu picking Nuke. I mean, they don't have any other option. This is the map they're comfortable on, so we're pretty confident about Nuke being picked. And G2 will most likely pick Anubis. Now, they might pick Inferno, so you see we got it here. But the only highlighted map combination we actually have is up here, is maps 1+2, which is Nuke and Anubis. And we also have maps 1+3, which is Nuke and Inferno. But the highlighted one is Nuke and Anubis, because we do think that that's the map combination we will be seeing today. So just keep that in mind. We have this one here just for extra info and just to kind of see if things go the other way and they do end up picking Inferno for whatever reason. We still feel good about the picks we placed. I know this might be a little confusing for you guys, so let me just explain how it works. So here we got Nuke. It's projected projected 20 rounds, which is a 13-7, which is a competitive projection, but this is based strictly off of their average rounds won and losses and average rounds lost and wins, right? So this number could basically be super volatile if they go in and they get blown out, which is basically what this is telling us might happen. But we like to go strictly with the data when it comes to these projections, so we're not going to make any assumptions. But what we will do to mitigate that blowout risk is that we won't highlight the projections unless they're giving us good value. And the way we do that is, for example, this is projected to be a 13-7 and this is projected to be a 13-7, which is competitive enough, but it's not very competitive. You know, most of the times competitive matches will be 13-10s, 13-11s, or even overtime. In this case, they're projected 13-7s. So for any overs, we'll make sure we find value for two 13-6s, which, I mean, I think any professional team should be able to put up 3 rounds on each half. Not saying that we haven't seen blowouts, but I mean, we're just gonna hope that we see at least 6 rounds, and we'll base our projections off of that. And the way we'll do that is that basically we won't take any overs unless we see a +2 value or more in this case, right? That'll give us room for error. Like if we see a 13-6 and a 13-6 rather than two 13-7s, we won't get hooked by that 1 kill according to projections, right? So we're only going to look at projections that are giving us a +2 value or more. And in this case, you see we found quite a few, man. But remember, this is the combination we want to look at more specifically, but this is just there for extra insight and just to help us with our pick process, right? So the first player I want to look at, man, now obviously these are my favorite plays here that are highlighted, but the first player I want to look at is actually Jam Young. Now he is highlighted yellow, meaning that he is risky. That's because he's on the team that's favored to lose. But the reason why I'm still going to consider him is because, I mean, if this game just goes the distance, it's probably going to be off of his back. Even if it doesn't go the distance, obviously this is 13-7, 13-7 on these maps, and he's projected 32.4 kills. He has a line at 26.5. We said that +2 kills is giving us value, but his projections are actually giving us value of +6, man. So I mean, it's kind of hard to ignore. 26.5 with a player at this caliber, really just you just need a few rounds in your favor on both maps and you should clear that line. You should get 27. Now G2's nothing to play with, man. I would not be surprised if he does fall under or if they just get completely blown out, but that's just a risk I'm willing to take. I don't really see any value in any unders here, just because of the simple fact that they're so low, that their lines are so low, that all it's going to take is one mess up from G2 for these guys to chain a few rounds and get some kills, man. So be careful with unders when you're looking at these lines. Although they are favored, man, they are still dangerous. PrizePicks isn't going to give out free unders, man. So I'm going to be optimistic and give Jam Young the over on kills and hope he reaches 27, man. I mean, he's projected 32 on the map combination we're expecting to see, and he's projected 31 on the other combination. As a matter of fact, in all 3 map combinations, he's projected over. So I think if the game goes the distance, he's pretty safe to clear that low line at 26.5. If this was any other team, man, he'd probably have a line at 30.5. Just keep that in mind. But also keep in mind that this is a roll of the dice, man. We're hoping this game doesn't get blown out like 13-1, 13-2, which we have seen in CS2 before, and we're just hoping that they come to play tomorrow. So make your own decisions. I'm going to roll with Jam Young over on kills. Remember, I'm flexing my slip, but I'm going to make something to correlate with this on this matchup. We got these 3 plays that we like on the G2 side. Now, Monesi for headshots, he's projected 17. I think he has a line at 14, but I don't know, man. Something tells me that if this is a blowout, Monesi might just be kicking back, bro. He might not even do all the work, but he did project over on headshots, man. He actually projects over on kills as well, but I mean, it's not giving us the value we want. His line's at 36 and he's projected 37.6, so it's not enough value for me to consider his over on kills, especially on a match that might be a blowout. But his headshots are over by 3, so if you're into that, man, go ahead and lock that one in. But I'm gonna go with Nexa. Now, Nexa's got a projection at 29.6 and he has a line at 27.5, so that's giving us a 2.1 value, which is over the 2.0 margin we were looking for to be safe on the 13-6s, right? So I think there's tons of value with him, man, or at least enough value for us to consider it. Like I said, man, this match is expected to be a blowout, meaning that some of these players might just be kicking back, man. Some of these top stars, and that'll probably leave up Nexa for some stat padding or something. They might let him fry, man. They might let him get fed on the ecos or whatever. You know, I know sometimes these players just like to stat pad, especially when they don't take their opponent serious, which might be the case tomorrow if they start off rough. And I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if Nexa's line ends up being free. That being said, I mean, if it is competitive, he is projected to go over, so that backs it up. He goes over on both these combinations. Obviously, this one's a little more sharper, but we're expecting this match, this combination, which would be Nuke and Anubis. So if we see Nuke and Anubis, man, these 2 picks should be really good together, especially if they make it at least 13-7s each map. So that's what we're gonna hope for, man. We're gonna lock in Nexa for over on kills and Jam Young for over on kills and hope that it's a competitive match, man. I mean, that's the least we could ask for. Just professionals to be professionals and not get blown out at the game they play every day, right? So that's the 2 that I got. They're nice and correlated. We're gonna go for the overs. The lines aren't stupid high, man. So I mean, we don't need a banger. We just need a semi-competitive match. And for these players to place to their stats in the last month versus in the last 3 months versus top 50 opponents. That's what our projections are based off of, right? So that's all we need, just them to be semi-competitive and play to their stats tomorrow, man. And hopefully the map picks go our way. Nothing funny happens with the map pick. We see Nuke and Anubis, then we should be good to go. That being said, that's the 2 picks I'm rocking with, man. I got one more for the 3-man flex play. That's actually going to be in this matchup here. We got Falcons versus Mongols. Now this one's a little more competitive. It should be a little more competitive, if not a banger, right? But we got Falcons versus Mongols, man. These odds are actually favoring the Mongols 70 to 30. I mean, it's highlighted yellow because it is kind of risky, but it's not as bad as an 80-20, so it's yellow. And Mongols have better form, but it's not significant enough for me to highlight it red. So I'm basically, this whole matchup is yellow, meaning that it's kind of in the middle. It could go either way, right? According to the odds and their form ranking. That being said, looking at the maps, bro, they're actually projecting to be bangers. I mean, you look here, you got Nuke. Nuke's projected to go 23 rounds. Mirage is projected to go 23 rounds, and Ancient's projected to go 20 rounds. So that's a 13-10, 13-7, and a 13-10, right? The map we're expecting Falcons to pick is Nuke. That's just the only map that they're very comfortable on, and I think that they're just gonna send Nuke, man. I mean, it's just what makes sense to me. I hope they don't go rogue and try to do something heroic or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, Nuke should be their bread and butter, and they probably compete at their best on that map and be comfortable against Mongols. So but we locked in Nuke for a guarantee, man, and we think that Mongols are definitely gonna pick Ancient. So this is the projection combination we're gonna want to look at for sure. But like I said, we might see Nuke and Mirage, so we got this one in here as well, just to kind of give us some insight, just to have two projections to look at and compare to each other, just to try to find consistency, right? It's just a good strategy to have. Always have a backup plan. That's our backup plan. Maybe we see a different map, but we try to predict that one as well. So this is our main focus, though. And like I said, I only got one pick for you guys on this matchup, so I'm just gonna get straight to it, man. It's Mzinho, man. Mzinho has a line at 23.5 kills. Like I said, this match is projected to be a banger. As far as the map predictions and projections go, it's projected to be a banger. Over here, it's kind of 50-50, but the maps kind of say enough for me to consider it, especially at a line at 23.5 when you're projecting 27.78. I mean, that's giving me like a plus 4.2 value. And yes, it's projected more rounds, so obviously he's going to project more kills. But like I said, the way we protect ourselves from blowouts is for this to go down to 13-6s, which is closer to a blowout than a 13-10. So in this case, we subtract 4 rounds, right? So meaning we're looking for plays with a plus 4 or more. And in this case, you got Mzinho at 27.78, line at 23.5. That's giving us a plus 4.2 value. So it clears our lines. Same with Techno, man. If you don't really trust Mzinho, I know his role's not really to get kills, even though the guy's been cooking. Techno's a very solid over as well, man. He has a line a little higher. I think his line's at like 27.5. But I mean, it's still very valid. Like I said, it's still plus 4. So that's why he's highlighted green. So you got Techno over kills and Mzinho over kills. For this slip in particular, I'm going to lock in Mzinho, and I'll just show you guys the slip. This here is the slip I locked in, man. I threw 80 bucks on it, but I did flex it, meaning that if I cash this, man, I'm gonna get 180 bucks, which is basically profit of $100, right? It's $100 profit. And if 2 out of 3 cash, I get 20 bucks, so I'll get back 100 bucks, so I'll make $20 profit. Both valid. I'm happy with that, man. Small wins are better than losses, man. Simple as that. You want to grow your bankroll consistently, go for small wins. And when you get those 2 out of 3s, you won't be stressed out. You'll still be getting small bits of profit to add to your bankroll, man, and just keep growing. I mean, we do this every day, so no need to rush, man. Just let's be smart. I'm gonna flex it. You guys make your own decisions. Like I said, I shared 2 projection sheets with you with multiple picks in there. There was like 7 picks highlighted there, so feel free to screenshot those, go back to those and screenshot them. I'm gonna have 4 more projection sheets up tonight for my Discord server. And like I said, man, if you want to tell all my slips directly, all my favorite slips, and get all my projection sheets at your fingertips, man, it's only 50 cents a day. Definitely worth your money. That's why it's selling like crazy and we're growing like crazy, man. So shout out to everyone that joined. Like I said, hit that link down below. I hope to see you guys there. Aside from that, I hope this free slip cashes you, and I hope we make a shit ton of money, man. But aside from that, I'll see you guys on the next one.